What's up, my fellow gamers out there? Hold on, listen. Can you hear the carnage already? Yeah. Well, believe it or not, Grand Theft Auto has been released 28 years ago at the time of making this video. This game holds a special place in my heart. I have so many nice memories with it from 1997 when I was a junior in high school, and we spent Friday nights with my best friend from the school to play Grand Theft Auto. We not even played the missions, we just caused massive carnage. We even used cheat codes, but we had so many, so nice memories with it. And lately I have decided to check out how the game holds up today and where this great series started. Because without this, we wouldn't even have Grand Theft Auto 5 and we wouldn't even wait for Grand Theft Auto 6 today. So, let's get started. Grand Theft Auto was released in 1997 by DME Design, a Scottish studio that would later rename itself to Rockstar North. Actually, it is quite funny to boot up a GTA game without a Rockstar logo. Well, the project began as something totally different, a racing game called Race and Chase where players would compete in a city full of cops and robbers. But during development the team noticed something funny. Playtesters loved causing trouble more than following the rules. So, the developers leaned into that chaos, and the rest is history. Well, I can totally understand why. Sometimes it is good to be bad. Yes, this was a Dungeon Keeper reference. So eventually Grand Theft Auto was released on MS-DOS, Windows and PlayStation, and later on Game Boy Advance too. For its time, it was incredibly ambitious, a living, breathing city with traffic, pedestrians, police and radio chatter. It was a top-down 2D sandbox game that gave players total freedom. You could steal cars, run over pedestrians, or explore hidden alleys full of secrets. In 1997, that was unheard of. While most games gave you a level and a goal, GTA simply said, alright, it's a city, do whatever you want. And oh yes, we did. I remember there was one time when we just killed and destroyed the whole city. We went through and with a rocket launcher and just keep shooting. And I remember that I don't know if it's possible, but there was no cars anymore. The cops are not came, there were no civil cars, nothing. And we just going through the city and we found one car and we said, okay, let's get in. And we get in the car and it was a bomb planted car. And I said like, ah, fucking hell. And I remember that one of my friends had a old computer, is a 486, if you guys remember that. And the game was lagging on his computer so badly that when he was speeding with the car and we tried to like take a turn, it was lagging so hard that he just crashed the car, but he enjoyed the game nevertheless. We tried how long we can last with the maximum wanted level and with cheats, without cheats. And I think we not made any missions at all. We knew that they existed because the little yellow arrow was there, but we don't care. We just cared about the carnage and the mayhem what we could cause in the city, because we never seen anything like it before. I remember when we found the tank. I still remember that moment. We took this motorbike, jumping to the roof to get in this fenced area, and there was it. The big, massive tank. And we was sitting there in the front of my old Pentium computer and I was like, wow, a tank! Yeah, we get in and we just went absolutely crazy in the city. Good times. Of course, freedom came with controversy. The game immediately drew headlines for its violent content. Newspapers called it a murder simulator, politicians wanted it banned, and that only made kids like us want to play it even more. In truth, the violence was more cartoony than realistic, but for 1997 it felt edgy and rebellious. The thing is that GTA was not the first game that contained violence. Carmageddon came out a few months before GTA and we all know how Doom was received when it has been released. GTA became a cult classic, a sort of forbidden fruit that spread by word or mouth in the school. And while critics were divided, some praising its innovation, others calling it ugly and repetitive, it sold surprisingly well. It was exactly what many players secretly wanted, a digital playground where you could break every rule and laugh about it afterward. And that's the thing, that we knew that it is a game, we never wanted to go out to the streets with this rocket launcher or with a flamethrower. As I said it earlier, sometimes it is just good to be bad. Now, fast forward today, I have to admit that the gameplay is rough. The controls feels very stiff, the cameras too zoomed in, and the missions when you actually try them are unforgiving. Sometimes you don't know where to go despite most of the time an arrow is pointing towards your goal. However, there were missions where I had to find a shop where they would plant a bomb in the car. And that there is no minimap in the game, and there was no arrow this time. But there was a short time limit. Of course I couldn't find the shop and gave up. Yeah, I tried to look, but I couldn't find it. The game can feel punishing and chaotic in ways that weren't intentional. But despite all that, there is still something charming about its simplicity. The blocky city, the pixel cars honking their way through traffic, the sound effects, it all feels like a time capsule from when open world games were just being born. And those radio stations, even though they were just looping snippets, gave the illusions of a living world. What's amazing is how much of the modern GTA DNA was already here. The open map, the car stealing, the cop chases, the crime-based missions, it's all there, just in a primitive form. The first Grand Theft Auto paved the road for everything that came after. GTA 2, 3, Vice City, San Andreas, and beyond. Without this game, none of these would exist. Each sequel expanded the formula, but this first game laid the foundation of this great series. Without it, there would be no Liberty City, no Nico Bellic, no Los Santos. Even modern open-world titles from Saints Row to Watch Dogs owe a lot to GTA's early experiments with player freedom. Developers like David Jones and Mike Daly took huge risks to make this happen. At a time when linear shooters and platformers ruled the market, they created something unpredictable, something sorry, I just cannot. I keep burping in the game and shooting, I just cannot. Okay, sorry. Nowadays, fans look back on the original GTA with a mix of nostalgia and respect. There are fan remakes, community patches, and even source ports that keep it running on modern systems. You can find YouTube channels dedicated to its hidden secrets and weird mechanics. And while few people actually play it seriously today, most gamers, including myself, recognize it as an important milestone, the spark that ignited Rockstar's empire. When I revisited it, I didn't felt that same rush of chaos I did as a teenager. But what I did feel was appreciation. Appreciation for how bold, how different, and how ahead of its time it truly was. I had to say that Grand Theft Auto hasn't aged perfectly, but it didn't need to. Its real achievement wasn't in its graphics or gameplay polish. It was in the idea. The idea that a game could let you break the rules and still have fun. That you could make your own story in a digital city full of possibilities. Back then, my friend and I weren't thinking about innovation or legacy, we just wanted to blow things up. But looking back now, it is amazing to realize that those chaotic Friday nights were part of gaming history being written. Because it all started here, with a tiny, pixelated world that dared to let you go anywhere and do anything. I strongly believe that the first Grand Theft Auto is an important part of modern gaming history. And now, I would like to know your memories with Grand Theft Auto. Did you play it when it has been released? Have you completed the missions, or you just caused mayhem in the city? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for joining me on this trip back to the golden age of gaming. If you love unearthing forgotten classics, or even the disasters, we got plenty more adventures ahead. So, press start and subscribe to join the quest. The algorithm has dug up a couple of more relics for you. They are right here on the screen, waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Backlog Quest video.